Hello and welcome! My name's Heather, I'm a registered professional counselor, and today I'm going to be watching Netflix series Love is Blind Season 2. I'm super excited to watch this. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe for more analysis videos like this. Alright, let's move on to episode 2. Sweet dreams.
Hopefully you dream about me too.
Yeah. So it seems like they also have a very clear and strong connection, but I think she also is connecting with Sal.
Hola.
What's up?
What did you bring into the room?
Yeah.
Do you have a little cocktail there right now?
Oh, okay, so
Are you
Shane is
okay?
there. He didn't leave the experiment like we thought he was going to.
I just want to focus on us, and that's it, really.
He's making it very clear to her about what it is he's wanting to do and their intentions.
Okay.
And he wants to pursue
Wait,
just
my
her.
girlfriend.
Oh, wow! So maybe he thought about it, you know, after the fight, and he decided that he wants to just pursue Natalie, and maybe he's gonna tell Shayna later on that he's made his choice. I hope he's not lying or playing Natalie or Shayna. So I hope he actually means what he says about wanting to commit to just her. The other thing that I want to say is that everything I'm saying here is just a speculation. I'm not here to diagnose any of the cast members. Obviously, that's not ethical. I don't know any of them. I'm not in a counseling session with them. The purpose of these videos is to talk about relationships or psychology in general, using the events that we see from the show. These videos or any YouTube videos are not a proper replacement for therapy. If you feel like you need therapy, definitely hire someone that you trust and just use these videos as a jumping off point to talk about more educational topics.
He asked me to be his girlfriend. Little
Ooh.
champs.
Uh-oh.
Can we pause it?
Oh,
I'm like emotionally exhausted.
probably not a good idea to rub it in Shayna's face. Trauma! Oh, she popped the champagne. Maybe she did it on purpose, you know, because it's like a competition now and she's here to meet her husband and not to make friends.
I don't want to be a cliche, but I'm not here to make friends.
This is a competition. This is not America's Next Top Best Friend.
So she's in the mentality of like, oh yeah, I won, and rub it in your face. Or maybe she's just completely unaware that it's hurting her feelings and she just wants to celebrate the fact that, you know, now they're officially boyfriend and girlfriend.
Are you in your comfy clothes?
I am.
What are you wearing?
She's just really obsessed with her wardrobe. So Shayna is trying to be more
She said that you
assertive
asked her to be your girlfriend.
and wants some clarity, which I totally
Did you say
get.
those things to Natalie?
He didn't even try to address the fact that he made a commitment to Natalie, and of course Shayna doesn't want to be the other woman and she doesn't want to be led on, so she wants to have clarification. It's normal to be attracted to more than one person, especially early on if you're dating and you're trying to figure things out, and you kind of need more information to be able to figure it out, just with the nature of the show itself. But when you've already made a commitment to one person, you have to honor that. Oh my gosh, Shane, no!
Whatever she says, why does it matter?
I guess for Shane, he was expecting that, yeah, he told Natalie that they're boyfriend-girlfriend and that he was only committed to his relationship to her, but he still wanted to get to know Shayna, and essentially he just wanted to brush it under the rug and pretend that just because he said that Natalie was his girlfriend, it didn't make a difference or it didn't matter. So what is going on with him? Maybe he was hoping to have his cake and eat it too, or he was hoping to still have this flirtationship with Shayna because it just seems like he's just very much interested in what she's wearing and fantasizing about how she looks. He made a commitment to Natalie and he should honor that, and I'm glad that Shayna was willing to draw that line and put that boundary in place, because nobody wants to feel that, you know, they're the other person or that they're infringing on someone else's relationship. And also that brings into question a bit about his character as well. And I guess maybe it's a bit of a red flag for her to think that, oh, well, if he's okay with talking to me in the way that he's talking to me and calling me toots or honey and being all lovey-dovey and asking me what I'm wearing, you know, what's it going to be like when we are engaged or if we're in a relationship? Is he going to be talking that way to other girls? I think it's a huge red flag, and I'm glad that she was able to recognize that, and it must be really hard because it seems like she does have feelings for him.
And then I kind of felt kind of ashamed, embarrassed that I did. How am I, like, thinking about that, like, the way I am?
So it's good to see that he has some level of self-awareness. He's able to think back and reflect on his actions, his behaviors, and I guess his mentality going into the show. He said that he felt embarrassed and ashamed. Those definitely are not the most comfortable feelings, and it's good to see that he's opening up and being vulnerable and sharing that with her, because it definitely does give us some hope that there is some level of self-reflection, and hopefully for him to realize, like, okay, well, that's not how I want to be. I can make changes and adjust my behavior in the future. So maybe he's not shallow like he first appeared to be in the first couple of dates, because he did kept asking about, talking about people's weight. The way that he's even appearing in the pods and the way that he's talking to her, it's completely different than what we saw. And there's definitely a shift there. So there's some hope and definitely some realization on his end. And as I mentioned earlier, maybe it's a habit of his to just focus on physical appearance or the more superficial stuff. And maybe it's harder for him to shift gears and think about more of the emotional connection and thinking about compatibility in that sense.
Because I was out of shape growing up and I was always kind of uncomfortable, I'm like, I kind of would compensate by being with somebody in good shape.
That's definitely quite the realization that he's made about his past. And I think that it's important that he has the ability to really think back and think deeply about where it came from and his actions and his behaviors. It's great to see that he's being very open and vulnerable. And I think that this is also a really good reminder that men also have body image issues, especially growing up, because again, society puts a lot of emphasis on how we should look, how much we should weigh, and especially when it comes to different genders, females need to look this way. And for men, there's a lot of pressure to be fit and to have washboard abs and to be really muscular and good looking and to be really tall. Everyone has these pressures to look a certain way in society because society is rewarding the certain standard of beauty and certain standard of attractiveness. Just a good reminder that everyone has their own struggles and everyone is human and everyone is dealing with these insecurities and these societal pressures as well to conform to a certain standard of beauty.
Maybe I have more demons in this department than I thought.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you shared that with me.
It's good to see that he's being vulnerable and that they're being so open and vulnerable on the show. It's definitely a rarity in everyday life. Although for me, I do see it a lot in my sessions, but I wish that people were able to communicate this way with trusted friends and family members, and even when, meeting someone and being on dates with them. This way of talking or communicating is not something that we're taught, and it definitely doesn't come easy. This is a huge step for him, and hopefully, watching this show, we can always reflect on our vulnerabilities and how we can communicate a little bit more of that into our daily lives.
You're asking me if I'm okay with you instilling the religion into our children?
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm glad that they're finally talking about this because they've had several dates already and they've had some conversations about, family values and how well they get along. Religion definitely can be a huge deal breaker to some people in the relationship, and that's totally fine. Relationships can work either way, whether or not you have the same religion or if it's different. It just really depends on how you communicate and how you work together as a team. And it might also bring about different types of challenges as well. I think it's important to try to accept the other person and try not to change them. And if you really want religion to be a huge part in your relationship, again, totally fine, then you might have to think about finding someone else that does share the same religion, because it's not really fair for you to change someone else's beliefs, just as it wouldn't be fair for them to try to change yours. If it's something that you value and that you really want to have in your relationship, you need to find someone who has the same religion, because it can definitely cause a lot of conflict and a lot of friction, especially if you're very polarized and set in your ways and very strong in your opinions about your beliefs. So just some things to think about that could potentially be a bit of a problem, especially if they continue their relationship. And I'm glad that she's bringing it up and she's trying to get clarification, because they need to think about this.
I'm gonna get down on one knee. Will you make me the luckiest man in the world and marry me?
Oh my gosh.
Just gravitated us towards
She's
each
gonna
other.
say yes.
And 1,000 times yes.
Oh, yay! Yeah, I'm really optimistic when it comes to the relationships. I hope it works out. The only concern I have about their relationship is they've both only dated Caucasians, blonde hair, and they never dated someone who was Indian, so I'm curious to see how exactly their physical attraction would be. There's clearly a strong emotional connection. They have a lot of similarities when it comes to experiences. They have similar ideas around their cultures. So maybe it's not going to be a big issue. Maybe the emotional connection is going to be enough and it'll carry forward towards their physical connection, or the physical connection might be a bigger issue that they'll have to either overcome or get used to. Do you have a favorite couple so far? Let me know in the comments below.
Any form of cheating, like emotional cheating or like physically cheating.
So it's good that they're talking about deal breakers, any form of cheating, emotional cheating, physical cheating. That's definitely a very common deal breaker and definitely very much understandable.
So I was sexually assaulted when I was 17. Like my heart is healed. It's just like sometimes my body remembers.
Trauma, it can definitely stay in the body and it could be triggered in different ways. It could be triggered by certain scents or sounds or physical touch. So there's different types of trauma as well. So there's something that we call little t trauma, which could be losing your job, getting in a car accident, going through a breakup. And then there's the bigger T trauma, which could be abuse or assault or war. It sounds like for her and her experience, that's definitely something that would qualify as a bigger T trauma. It definitely takes time to work through, but there's definitely counselors or trained therapists or trauma specialists out there that can definitely help people. So definitely you're not going through this alone.
Almost lost my life.
What?
Oh, wow.
I never saw the knife in his hand. I was stabbed.
Oh, wow. I mean, that is terrible. I can't even imagine what he's been through, or both of them have been through. And it sounds like both of them are open and sharing and talking about the trauma that they've had and their past experiences. And this can definitely help them have a stronger bond or a stronger connection, especially because he said he hasn't really told anyone about this.
I've made connections with you and Mallory. Like, I've literally been going back and forth every day.
Good. I mean, at least he's being honest. That's something Shane could have said to Shayna and Natalie. Before I forget, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe for more analysis videos of Love is Blind. Oh, good. Okay, so it seems like there's
Oh my god.
some level of attraction. Yeah, because I was... Oh my...
Booty, look at that booty.
Did he just grab her?
He went straight for the ass. Which I love.
Okay, she didn't mind it. That's fine. But still on national TV, and the camera was just like right there.
Am I gonna throw away an amazing woman because we disagree on a religion?
So it sounds like he's willing to work on the relationship and work through the differences.
Beautiful. I'll never find that perfect person where everything aligns so perfectly.
But our big things.
Yeah.
They don't change.
Maybe for him, it's not that big of an issue that their religions are very different and they have different points of view. Maybe for him, it's fine. But it seems like for Shayna, it is a big issue. That's something that she needs to really reflect on and see if that's something that she's able to accept. And for them to also accept each other and the fact that their views are so different and even conflicting, it's okay if they want to work on it. It's okay if they, want to talk about it a bit more. And I think that's what Shane was hoping for, was to talk about it, and then now there's a box. I don't know if this is the right time. Why didn't they have one more date and then he could propose or decide?
Yes.
Maybe she's willing to work on it. I didn't see that coming. Shayna seems really unsure. Maybe she is in shock, but I think there's a part of her that knows that religion is really important and that she needs to be with someone who has similar values or similar points of views as she does. So maybe she feels pressured to say yes, or maybe she feels that this is her only chance, similar to the Mark and Jessica situation from season 1, because now Shane has picked Natalie. She no longer has Shane as an option anymore. Kyle is her only option. She just seems very unsure. It's a little shocking that she did say yes. I wonder why she didn't just say, let me think about it, because that's an option as well. She definitely seems more shocked than happy. And Kyle over here is just completely ecstatic.
I guess it's just like the idea of like being engaged again. And
Right, because she was engaged before, right? So she could have said she needs more time and that she needs to have more reassurance or more conversations around what that would look like. You know, if they do end up together and having different religions or different beliefs, is there going to be boundaries in place? Are they not going to talk about it? How are they going to raise their kids? He seems to not mind to raise their kid, you know, within her faith and let the child decide. Maybe, you know, she has different plans around that. Having more discussion before you make such a life-changing decision, and especially if she's already had experiences before where an engagement got broken off and she doesn't want to have that similar experience. I feel that there's a part of her that knows that it's not going to work out. I'm curious as to why she also didn't just say no. Again, it could be pressure from the show. Maybe she feels pressure that this is her last chance. There are possible explanations as to why she said yes in the first place. It's easy to say that as an observer, but it can be really hard when you're in the situation to really be able to kind of process those feelings. And human beings are complex. Sometimes we do things that make no sense. Sometimes we do things that are very confusing, but that's just a part of being human beings.
It's wild.
So Shane's gonna propose to Natalie.
yes, oh my god.
Because they always do these like little montages.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
Oh my gosh, why is she there?
Real quick.
I thought he's proposing. What is happening?
I just wanted you to know that
What?
I do have deep feelings for you.
I thought she told him that already before, no? Why is she telling him now? She just got engaged. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you'll get more analysis videos of Love is Blind. Thank you so much for watching and feel free to check out my other therapist reviews videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself.